So here's the thing about political campaigns. They're desperate for people. You are always looking for volunteers. You're always desperate for people to come and help with a campaign. It doesn't matter how much money you raise. There's never enough. You are totally reliant at the end of the day on the size of the volunteer army that you can construct. Desperate for volunteers. And not only is it a utilitarian thing, it's a respect thing. You're bringing a campaign into somebody's neighborhood, into somebody's community. You're saying, we're doing this for you, for your community. You'd better involve the community, or else your campaign has no legitimacy. So the campaign that I was on obviously prized itself on being able to bring people in off the street, and we had a very simple ethos. Anybody who walks in the door who wants to help, we are going to give them something to do. And not only that, we are going to be respectful to everyone. So if they come in, doesn't matter what they say, we are going to be respectful to them. We're respectful to the community, and if they want to help, we are going to give them something to do. They're going to help. There's a job for everybody. Very socialist. So the front door of a campaign office is always open. And because it's always open, campaigns tend to be a magnet for lots of kinds of people. Wonderful people, totally sincere people, motivated people, and also people who are maybe not that interested in the campaign necessarily, but they're lonely. They don't have a lot of people to talk to, and they just want to, they know the door's always going to be open, so they know they can just walk into the office and they'll be treated well. And so, campaign offices tend to be a magnet for sometimes people who are a little weird. So I was in Philadelphia, and we were at a local community meeting. We had convened with some local volunteer leaders and about 10 or 15 volunteers. And we were trying to figure out where we could go in this particular area of Northeast Philadelphia to register voters. And we laid out a map on the floor. And there was a guy there named Brad. And Brad was about 40 years old, very enthusiastic, very big supporter. He had, he's real friendly, but he had a certain manic energy to him. He sort of seemed to be kind of on edge. And this particular day, he was like really gung-ho, and he was pointing out all these locations. He got down on all fours. He started circling things on the map, highlighting stuff. You got to go here. You got to go here. This will be a good place. This will be a good place. He was sweating profusely while he did this. He was sneezing. He was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I have a cold. I'm sick." But it was a combination of the sweating and the sneezing and the manic energy. That's like, whoa, Brad's intense. But again, really nice guy. So we sign everybody up to volunteer and to go out to register voters. Brad says, "Yeah, I'll be there. I'm excited," etc., etc. And on the appointed day, Brad's nowhere to be found. We call him, no answer. Up until this point, he had been very responsive. We email him, no answer. We call him again, no answer. It's routine for volunteers to come in and then not come in again because they just can't make the time. But it's not ordinary for somebody to come in, show a lot of enthusiasm, and then just disappear. But Brad was gone. A week went by, nobody had heard from him. 2 weeks went by, nobody heard from him. 3 weeks went by, no contact with Brad. And we say, we don't know what happened to Brad. Other volunteers are trying to call him. People who know him outside of the campaign have known him for some time. Nothing. So weeks go by, and it's getting close to the election. And it's a Saturday. I'm in the office. There's volunteers all over the place. People are being trained on how to do campaign activities. There's kids around. And Brad walks in through the door. I say, "Brad, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a long time." And he walks up to me. He's like, "I'm so sorry." He's like, I feel really bad. I was completely out of touch. I'm really sorry." I'm like, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. What was going on? Where were you?" And he gets real close to me. Just a couple inches away. He's like, "Look, I'm going to tell you the truth about where I've been." I was like, "Oh, okay," because, I had been taught. I'm a campaign representative. I'm respectful. I listen. I say, "Absolutely. Go ahead, tell me." He looks me dead in the eye, and with no facial expression at all, he says, "Well, the truth of the matter is, and I haven't told anybody this, but I'm actually a time traveler from another time. And I look at him, and I say, okay, Brad. And he's like, and, this isn't my time. And the last couple weeks I've been in the future, I've been in the past, but I'm on a mission right now. And I just haven't been in this time for the last couple weeks. And that's why I couldn't volunteer. And as he was saying this, two things were going through my head. The first thing was actually an element of pride in myself, because I was like, I'm handling this. I was like, I can handle this. Maybe a year ago, I would have lost it in this situation, but here I am with this man who's obviously very disturbed, and I'm handling it. I'm going to be able to handle that, and I was proud of myself. And the second thing was, okay, there's a crazy person in the office. I've got to get him out of the office. There's all sorts of people around. Now it's my job to deal with the situation. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it. I have to find a way to explain that we don't need help right now. Maybe I should call the authorities. I'm not sure, but I just want to make sure he's not violent in any way and that he's not going to hurt anybody. And about 6 seconds go by where he just stares right at me, and I just say, okay, Brad, okay, I understand. Or I'm just trying to think about how I'm going to proceed. And then he just snaps right out of me. He's like, oh, no, I'm just kidding with you, man. I'm just completely messing with you. You should have seen your face. That was great. He's like, no, I've just been really sick. I'm sorry. And he loved it. He started laughing so hard. He's like, you should have seen yourself. That was unbelievable. And I just collapsed. I cursed him out. I was like, I can't believe you did that to me. He's like, I thought you were a crazy person. He's like, I know. He's like, that was good though, right? That was good. And that was Brad from what he called Silly Philly. And I remember when we left, he gave me a little book on Buddhism because he liked Buddhism. And turned out he volunteered for this campaign. Brad was a really cool dude.